Okay, so working with strings is a little different. I'm not going to spend time on base R functions regarding strings. I feel like string R is another thing that's a part of the tidyverse that does a really good job of working with strings. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If you go to help and go to string R, you'll see this package. String R is again a part of the tidyverse. And if you click on this GitHub repo right here, this GitHub repo, it will take you to the GitHub repo for string R. See the people who created it. And one of the things that I'm not going to have the capacity to do is to teach you every single function, just like I didn't do with regards to Lubricate. But is to teach you some of the, not teach you every single function within string R. And so working with strings is important. But I'm going to give you just, based on maybe 3 functions. And then if anything else comes up, you can either, of course, use ChatGPT or use this as a nice little guide regarding what's going on in terms of these strings. What's nice about R, which I don't think Python probably has this potentially, but R, at least R Studio Posit did a really good job of creating this library where like a lot of the things you can work with strings are here. And so in the back of your mind, like the strings, why is this important? Working with text data is huge in terms of just analyzing data. You're not always going to get just pure numbers. Being able to detect, extract, remove based on certain patterns is an imperative skill. Alright, so here, I think we talked about string detect before. All string detect allows us to do is determine if an actual pattern is within a string of characters. So if I were to do this, this should say true because HTTPS is within this. But if I were to do backslash, it should say false because this is not in there. Okay. So that is detecting string detect. There's no other elements that are worth noting there. All it does is detect if a particular string is within, like string of characters within a particular string. Replace is nice. What you have to do is provide a text, okay? And if the actual you have to first apply what you're trying to replace and the actual item that you're replacing it with, and that's string replace. That's good. But imagine if there was another apple. If I can spell correctly, it's only going to replace it at that one location. So what could happen is you can actually, there's an extension of string replace with string replace all, and then this will solve that issue. So every single time it sees it, it will replace it. Okay? So that's string replace, and then last but not least is string remove. Okay? I'm not going to the party, and then you can just remove it. Okay? And it's not there. Nice if you actually remove the space. You could also just remove all the spaces if you wanted to. Make it look weird. Oh, look at that. So if you notice it didn't work, if that's were to be the case, you had to remove all the spaces. I didn't know there was a space in between. So you had to add remove all. So it's good that you now know about removing all as well. Okay? So with that said, again, string remove, string detect, string replace are just the bare bones. There's string sub where you can substitute, string concatenate, where you can concatenate multiple strings together, join multiple strings together. Length, sub, things in that regard, which is nice. So now, this is where I would say this is where it gets kind of interesting. we're not going to go through the entire realm of regular expression. But regular expression is a way to work with text data based on certain patterns. So it allows you to extract or remove or replace based on certain patterns. So here, and the thing is, it's almost like another language. So here, what this is saying, extract with exact digits. So this is telling me extract this \\d gives me any particular digit, okay? And this colon, not this colon, wow. This curly braces, brackets, saying it says extract if it has 4 numbers. So if I run this, it's going to extract the 4. So we did remove, replace, and detect. Extract is another one as well if we just want to get the numbers. But imagine if I put 5 there, it's going to say it's not there. And I won't lie, I did forget what \b represents. What you can easily do if that happens to you, you can go here. And what this is telling me is that \b is word boundaries. So if it's around words. So if I were to remove this, let's see what happens. It still extracts it, but I think the reason why I did that is so that it can actually be, if it's not next to words, it would still work. It should still work, yeah. But imagine if we had, another 3 there, and then we did I love cake, I love chicken, because I'm on an all chicken diet. 1, 2, 5, 5, 6. Technically, it's supposed to extract both of them, but as you can imagine, it would only extract the first one. And so there is an extract all as well, so you can extract all number elements. Okay. We did talk about list, so therefore it's giving the information as a list. So if you wanted to actually get access to this information, numbers, let's define it as that. We run it like that. If you want to get access to this, you would have to do number. So say for example the second one, numbers, you have to do the second one. This is what you would have to do to get access to the second one. Okay. Here, but on this other example, already did all. So it's the idea of being able to get numbers, and so this is a number of any length. So when it says plus, it's any length. So if I run this, I should get the same thing. If I were to do 396. 5, I should get all 3. Okay, so I can actually specify the exact number, or I can get any number that's present. But the thing is, if I do 3, I should not be extracted. Okay, because that's not a number; it needs to be all digits. Now this gets kind of crazy. You can extract emails. Say, for example, you have an HTML site, you have a website that you're trying to extract emails. This little mechanism has the capacity to do so. So let me break this down. This is going to be the last thing I discuss for today. So I need to first do it like this and mention that the brackets enclose a particular region or a certain type of, gives you sections off what you're looking for. So I'm looking for, this allows me to say I'm looking for anything with these particular patterns, and I'll discuss what these particular patterns mean in a moment. But this just splits up the string into one particular region. This is another region, okay, with the brackets, and then finally, this is another region. These pluses means that we're concatenating, or we're adding them together, okay, and then finally the at, since it's not within the actual bracket, it's actually looking for an at symbol. Since it's not
this double slash means that we're looking for a period. Okay. If it was just one, we need two slashes to escape the natural functioning of period. If you have any questions on that, let me know. It's a little bit, again, it's another language like I mentioned before. And so A to Z is any lowercase letter A to Z. Capital A to Z is any uppercase letter A to Z. 0 to 9 is any number between 0 and 9. Any period, underscore, percent, plus or minus could be within the name of the email. Okay, the same kind of logic is seen here in terms of the location of the company. And then same thing right here. It can be any letters, A to Z. It could be 2 or more. So this is saying 2 or more. Okay, so when we run this, it's going to give us a port. But then if I remove this dot, it won't work. Okay, so it needs to have that period there, or dot to period. Okay, all right. So that is it for this video. Hopefully that's enough foundation. This extract, this is the same as before, just looking at multiple emails. And I hope that helps. Or you learned something.